Howdy everyone, welcome to episode 19 of the J76 Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Jimmy Wild. Wanted to start off by thanking all of the new viewers and subscribers. Your likes and your comments and your subscribes mean the world to me. You know, a small channel trying to grow. Greatly appreciate it. So we have a lot to cover today, so don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and hardware content, as well as the podcast. And catch me on Twitch on most Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Central. Currently streaming Cyberpunk 2077, but kind of itching to play something else, so we'll see what that changes into. And for this episode, we have some gaming and hardware news, as always. Then we'll get into some New Year's gaming resolutions. Then we'll look at some gaming memories from New Year's past. And then we'll get into the main event, which is the top games that I am personally looking forward to in 2021. So we'll go through some of those, and as always, there are timestamps available, so feel free to skip around. I will have a link in the description to the print version of this episode on my website, j76gaming.net, and in that post I will have all of the links to the pages and the videos that we're going to be kind of looking through. And with that, let's get into the news. All right, let's go ahead and get into the news. So let's bring up our browser, get my notes up, and we'll start off with Cyberpunk 2077, because this is kind of a hot topic lately, still, I should say. And so, of course, there's been some bugs. We've reported on that. We had the PS4 version was taken off of the store, off of Sony's store, so that was a bit of a mix-up, and now we have a class action lawsuit against CDPR, filed, of course, from an investor who was not happy that even though the game has already recouped its money, it's not making enough money, and it's apparently going to tarnish CDPR's reputation, which I highly doubt. There's so much goodwill to CDPR. People love their games, and if they come back in a couple of months or a month or 2 months or whatever, if they come back with a bug fix and clean up the performance, everyone's gonna be fine. So, whatever. You know, perfectly honest, I'm kind of over oh my god, there's bugs in the game. Yeah. There's bugs in the game. There's always bugs. There's bugs in every game. Now, to be perfectly fair, I have not played the PS4 version, so maybe the PS4 version actually does really suck. I don't know. But still, is it lawsuit worthy? I don't think so. So whoever is starting this, I hope they stop. Alright, so now we'll get into something that really, really chaps me, and that is Star Citizen. Oops. Scroll up. There we go. So Star Citizen, Squadron 42 in particular, the single-player story version of the persistent universe, is apparently delayed indefinitely. And Chris Roberts says, Squadron 42 will be done when it's done. Sweet. So basically never. Just like anything else with Star Citizen, it's never coming out. So, super bitter. They have all of my money and I have no game. So, sweet. At this point, I would just love to have the single player game, Squadron 42, and the persistent universe can go straight to hell, because I don't really care anymore. I don't know. Hopefully sometime this decade, we get Squadron 42. The persistent universe, you're easily looking at 2030, the way that they're going. So, and yes, I'm being dramatic, but I'm super pissed. So, whatever. All right, so let's get into AMD news or hardware news. I was going to do some console news, but there isn't really any console news other than all the new consoles are still sold out. At least there's more coming, it seems like. The drops are happening more frequently, so hopefully more are getting into store shelves, it looks like. And actually, short anecdote, just before Christmas, there was a few of us that were trying to make sure that everyone got Xbox Series X's, and we were actually successful. Like, all of us were able to get actually more than we needed. So I ended up canceling an order from Best Buy, which actually broke my heart. I was like, I should find someone that wants this. But anyway, so that's good news. There's more happening. And if you're still struggling to get one of the new consoles, just seriously go onto Twitter and just start following some of the like the PS5 and the Xbox stock people. That'll help get onto Discords. But yeah, it is still hard work to buy these consoles. That's just the truth of it right now. So anyway, so moving on to the hardware news. Now we got a little AMD kind of leak here. And we all knew this was coming, so this isn't really that big of a surprise. But there is one, I guess, kind of interesting point, is that there are new Threadripper CPUs coming, which, like I said, that's not much of a surprise. But apparently there was some question about if a 16 core was going to be available or if it was only going to be 24 or whatever. But apparently we're going to have a 16 core. So this is all grain of salt type thing, but it's pretty cool. I can't wait to see the specs on it. And the price, I mean, because really, a 5950X is 16 cores, $800, I think. And in theory, this 16-core Threadripper should, I don't know, be somewhere along that, but you're still going to have to pay the premium for the PCIe lanes, so maybe $1,000, $1,200, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see the performance. Yeah. But that should be like a somewhat price-wise attainable. Like, I mean, they're going to be out of stock instantly, so let's just assume they were in stock, which they won't be. It should be price-wise attainable for a sort of average person that is looking for budget, like raw CPU horsepower. So we'll see. All right, and let's go to Nvidia. Oh, actually, no, I forgot. I have a personal AMD news. So my 5900X is finally about to get here. So I ordered on B&H Photo, along with a bunch of people, and then we all got our emails that said, don't expect this anytime soon. Well, I got that email that said, hey, we're shipping. So in theory, next week, I should have a 5900X. So I can swap that out, swap the 5600X I have in my game machine now into the 5900X and really put a hurtin' on some games. So it'll be interesting to see how that feels. But anyway, so yeah, Nvidia news. I mean, yeah, we can't buy 3080s. We know that. But this is interesting that apparently miners are still buying them, and they don't care if they're paying over retail price because they're still making their money back mining. So, I mean, this article kind of goes into the math. Like, there's a mining rig that's got 78 3080s in it. 78, which is $54,000 worth of graphics cards at retail, but upwards of $93,000 in like aftermarket prices or third-party prices, whatever you want to call it. So that's a lot. But apparently people, get out of their ad. Apparently people are still able to make their money back even at that. But that seems like a huge investment to drop anywhere from $50,000 to $93,000 on GPUs and then be able to make your money back. That yeah, I should have got into mining a long time ago, but but whatever. So more Nvidia, which is actually, I think, kind of interesting. It's not that I didn't expect 3080 supers and 3070 supers and super variants, but I don't know if I was expecting them soon. Like, that seemed like a end of the year, maybe end of 2021 refresh, maybe, because Nvidia is still yet to drop its let's see, what are we missing? The 3080 Ti, they're missing some of the lower end 15, 3060 like type cards, and then anything else. So I'm like, so are you really ready to drop more cards, like refreshed cards? So we'll see. But yeah, so here's a good question though. Could these feature 16 gig of RAM? I think that would be really nice. If they did a 3080 Super with 16 gig of RAM and it was the same price, or maybe $50 more or whatever, that would be a really compelling option, I think. Because the 3080 is going to be more than that, way more than that. But we'll see. We will see. So, speaking of 3080 Ti, we have Gigabyte that kind of reconfirmed, that there is a 3080 Ti with 20 gig of RAM, which we all basically assume is true by now anyway, and that it's coming out in February. But who knows? We'll see. This is just more evidence that all of this is true and it's going to happen. So basically just these SKUs showed up on Gigabyte and they're like, yep, they're coming. But the interesting thing here was the 3060 with 12 gig of RAM, which seems, I don't know, it seems dumb to me. Like maybe they got a discount on 12 gig kits of RAM, but I mean, a 3060 is not a 4K card. Like, why do you need 12 gig of RAM? Short answer, you don't. But who knows? Maybe there's a use case for that. I don't know. What else we got? Okay, so Intel stuff. Gotta scroll my notes. Scrolling notes. All right. There's a couple things here. So we talked about the Intel 11900K, I think last episode or maybe 2 episodes ago. I forget. But we're getting some more leaked benchmarks, and it looks promising on one side anyway. So we're beating Zen 3 benchmarks. So, okay, that's great. But the 11900K is an 8-core part, so they were comparing it directly to the 5800X, which is middle of the road for the Zen 3 lineup, and this is the 11900K, which is the top end of the Intel lineup. So, whatever. But it's good. I am glad to see that Intel is bringing something to the table. I am not pleased that it's just a refresh, but whatever. At least it's something. It gives us options, right? But then of course these are not going to be in stock anyway. So really, this is all moot, anyways. But yeah. So we got new benchmark numbers. Let's see if I can find them. Actually, I might have closed the tab that had the benchmarks. No, here we go. Yeah, so single-threaded CPU-Z benchmark, 11900K beats actually everything in a single thread. So I think this was boosting to 5.3. But I don't know, you get 8 cores versus a 5950X with 16 cores. And you're barely winning. I mean, like I said, single thread, sure, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just nice to see some competition. I'm still waiting for Intel to just really drop the hammer when they get like to their 10 nanometer or something else, But anyway, so one more thing about Intel. Along with the 11900K, we do have, I guess, confirmation now that the Z590 boards will have PCIe Gen 4 support, so that's awesome. And this article covers a lot of the benchmarking too, but yeah, here we go. We'll feature 20 CPU-based PCIe lanes, 4.0 lanes, so that's pretty cool. Although I don't know if that is 20 available or 20 that's shared. Because 20 just really isn't enough. Because AMD has 24 with 4 shared, so you're left with 20, which is good, because you can run a GPU at 16x and an NVMe at 4x, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, but like for my system, well, I was going to point to it, it's in a different room, but for my system, I had to use the chipset lanes for the second NVMe because, 16x, 4x, and 4x is 24, so I had to, get above that. So if this is actually only 16 usable and 4 shared or something like that, then that's kind of unfortunate, but it's a start. I'm just glad it's there. But when you're talking about GPU though, I think we've already seen if you need the lanes for storage, then it's not a big deal. Just run your GPU at, PCIe 3. You take the 3 to 5% performance hit, and then you make it up in storage, in the storage performance. So whatever. Yeah, I think that's it for the news, really, because that was there's not a lot going on for, just newsworthy events, I guess. And I want to get into the New Year's gaming resolutions. So, I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions, so these are mostly just jokes, but I think it's important. And I do actually want to try these, but I'm not that serious about it. But so gaming resolution number 1 is I want to actually finish more games. So I finished Cyberpunk 2077. So that's good. I'm glad that I finished it, but that's a rare occasion. Like, I don't finish a lot of games. I will play them for a couple hours and then I'll move on to something else. And it's not even because I'm bored with that game. It's just like I want to play something else. So I'm going to make a real effort to try to play games all the way through. I feel like I owe it to not only myself, but to the developers that put the time in to make the game. So, so what I was going to say too is, like, normally would go into a game like No Man's Sky, for example. So that's usually one of those games where it's like, I have beat No Man's Sky to death. I do not need to play it anymore, but I'll be like, I'm going to go play that. I'm like, I have a whole, like, stockpile of games that I could be playing, but I'll be like, No Man's Sky, here we go. Or Diablo or something like that, So, gaming resolution number 2. I should have done a number 1 on the first one, but whatever. Backlog cleanup. And this is, this could be every single gamer's resolution is, this year I am going to try to get through some of my backlog games. And then we don't, because there's always more games that we don't have time to play anyways. So what's on my list? I definitely need to get through Horizon Zero Dawn. I need to get through that because it was fun. I was having a lot of fun on PC. I just got distracted by something else and didn't play it anymore. I want to get through Doom and Doom Eternal. I never finished the first Doom or Doom Eternal. I need to do those. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I need to get through that. The Tomb Raider games are some of my favorite games of all time, and I still didn't finish Shadow yet, so I need to get back through that. That'll probably be an Xbox thing that I'll play, because I was playing it on PC, but I think I'm going to actually do a playthrough on Xbox, because got to get them achievements. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, I want to get through that. I was super excited for that game, and then I played it for like 10 or 12 hours, and then I stopped playing it. Not because it's not fun, it's really fun, but I just stopped playing it. But Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, I need to finish that. I played most of it. I just never finished it. And it's a short game, to be fair, so I should be able to just knock it out in a day or a weekend or something like that. So I will probably do that. Actually, I'll probably do that very soon because, well, we'll cover that in a second. And then Phoenix Point. So I'm pretty sure I've said something about Phoenix Point before, but Phoenix Point is a real sore spot for me, but I feel like I'm gonna play it. You know, that was the game that I backed on Kickstarter, and then they said, oh, by the way, we sold out to Epic Games, and since I boycott Epic Games, then I can't play it, and blah, blah, blah. So, but it's out now on GOG, and I do own it on GOG, so I'm very happy that I can play it, but I need to actually go do it. So, anyway, resolution number 3 is play some more indie games. Why not? I mean, I buy some and then I don't give them the time that I should. So for example, I want to play Monster Sanctuary, which is super fun. I love the game. But I just haven't gotten around to like putting the time into it to actually play. And it's not huge. It's like, oh man, I forget. I think they said it's like 30 hours maybe. After they've added all the, I don't know, say expansions, but now that it's officially released, and they have, because I was playing early access, now that it's officially released, there's a lot more content. It's like 30 hours, so that's not bad for, I almost said cheap, like not like cheaply made, but like cheap cost indie game. And then Star Renegades, I want to play Star Renegades. I have played it a little bit, and I like it. I just need to do some more on it. So yeah, that's it for my 3 gaming resolutions. And I want to do a couple of quick gaming stories, like, and then I won't make them too long, don't worry. But I was just thinking, because we're, just after New Year's, I've been playing a ton of games, and those are my favorite New Year's. So, a couple New Year's memories. In high school, a long time ago, me and my buddy used to rent. This is when you could rent consoles. Used to rent like Super Nintendos, and we would play Mario because we didn't have those consoles. So we'd rent them, and then we would stay up all night and play Mario. Just all night long. Watch New Year's Eve happen and then just play Mario, because you rented the games by the day, so we could rent them for like a day or 2 days or whatever, and then just play nonstop, get our money's worth, and then move on. So that was a fun. That's a fun memory from high school. Those are good days. And then actually, this is not high school. This is a college one, but back in, it was 96 when it released. So Diablo, the first Diablo released December 31st, 1996. And I want to say I bought it with Christmas money. Like, I got some Christmas money and I went and I bought the game. And then I went back up to school. I got to my house. And so this was after New Year's by this time. And I sat down and I just started playing Diablo. And short backstory is I loved Dr. Pepper. And I also loved Tootsie Rolls. And so and every year my aunt would give me a huge bag of Tootsie Rolls. So here I'm coming back up to play Diablo. I have like a case of Dr. Pepper, and I have a ginormous bag of Tootsie Rolls. And then I sat down, I started playing, and I played all night long. And all I did was drink Dr. Pepper, and all I did was eat Tootsie Rolls. And guess what? Your body doesn't like that. And so I didn't wake up in the morning. At like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning after playing all night, I promptly went to the bathroom and threw up a lot of Dr. Pepper and Tootsie Rolls, and then I did not eat them or drink Dr. Pepper for many years. And actually, I still don't touch Tootsie Rolls. Like, I don't, like, I have zero desire to eat a Tootsie Roll, because it's like, it's something about throwing it up, but like, it just doesn't sound good. And then, I don't drink soda anymore anyways, but it did take me many years to get back to drinking Dr. Pepper, which is still very, very tasty. But yeah. So those are a couple gaming stories. But all right, so let's go ahead and move into the next topic, our main topic of my most anticipated games for 2021. I know you're on the edge of your seat. What are they? What are they? Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so for the games, let's go ahead. Let's bring back our browser and my notes. All right, so these are going to be the most anticipated games for me, and they are going to be in kind of chronological order. This is not like a top 10 or something like that. So these are just games I'm excited for. So starting off, we got Atelier Ryza 2. And I have not played these games before. I think this is technically the third, if I'm not mistaken. There was the first one, then there was like a spin-off, or I could be mistaken. But anyways, this is the new one upcoming, and that's coming up on January 26th. Though I'm probably gonna get this on PS5. I have a $100 gift card that I'm itching to burn up on PlayStation. It's an excuse for me to actually use my PlayStation. So, yeah. But anyway, it's an RPG, a JRPG, and there's a lot of crafting, which I love crafting. So that's pretty cool. And it seems to have a pretty decent story. So, in early reviews of the Japanese version are like that it's better than the original. So, sounds good to me. And next is The Medium. I'm actually really excited for this one. So it's kind of unfortunate that Atelier Ryza 2 comes out 2 days before Medium, so I won't get a ton of time to play Atelier. But The Medium, I do want to play The Medium. This looks pretty cool. And although I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit worried because it's one of those games that's already on sale. But I don't care. I still want to play it. And I'm going to play this on Xbox, most likely. And I'm hoping it's cross-play or cross-save, though, because it's available on PC, so I'd like to, maybe use PC on this. If there's and this will be a theme throughout this whole list, if there is value in the PC, like if you can actually get more performance out of the PC, then that would be great. Outriders. So this is February 2nd, and ideally I would play this on PC because I like playing shooters on PC. I'm better on PC than I am on console, but most of my friends have consoles, and if they are going to get this, they would get it on console. So I may have to either pick a side or just double duty and play it console and PC, which is fine. I actually have this already pre-ordered on PS5 and on Xbox Series X, so I'm going to be playing it on console at least at some point. But anyway, now this is something that really, really makes me happy. So we have Ghost and Goblins Resurrection. This is February 20. Oh, I wrote down 26th, but the website says 25th. So, but anyway, coming to Switch. I used to play this game on Commodore 64 way back in the day, and I was terrible at it. So I'm ready to give it a go. I might stream this and see how well I can do, and you guys can make fun of me for being terrible at it. How about that? Sound good? All right. Up next, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, and I have been pumped for this since the Sony showcase that showed it off. But this is coming in March, I believe. I didn't find an actual date of it; it just said March. And I'm gonna play it on PlayStation 5 because it's a PlayStation 5 and PC exclusive. But the PC exclusive is Epic Game Store, and like I've said many times before, I boycott Epic Game Store, so I will not play it on PC. And to be fair, it doesn't look like it's a game that's going to require the horsepower of a PC. So PlayStation 5 sounds good. Now this is, okay, so Returnal. Now this is one of those that I probably shouldn't play, but I want to. So why shouldn't I? Okay, so first off, March 19th is the date. This is a PS5 exclusive. Once again, an excuse to use my PlayStation. And why should I not play it? Because it is roguelike and it's horror. So I might not get any sleep and I will be super angry because it's roguelike. But it does look really cool, so I want to play it. Now, this is the kind of big one. Like this is probably my top game of 2021. Like really, realistically, probably. Wow. So, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. The first game, which I brought up earlier in my New Year's gaming resolutions that I need to finish, because this game is an experience. It is legitimately a phenomenal experience. And I am telling you, start the game up, turn the lights down, put your headphones on, because the game is a visual and audio treat. And it's an experience. And I highly, highly recommend playing the game. And it's really short. So, I picked it up. I picked it up on Xbox for $10 at Best Buy the other day. I went to Best Buy for some printer ink and I came back with 3 games and 2 movies? 3 games, 2 movies, 3 games, 3 movies, something like that. I forget. Anyways, way more than I went there for, which is what Best Buy is good at, I think. Alright, so anyways, yeah, I can't wait to play this. And I will probably play it on Xbox. But yeah, I will get it on PC also, and I hope that it has like a cross save or something like that also. But yeah, I'm super pumped for this. And I really, really think that this is going to be the pinnacle of Xbox Series X graphics for this year, for sure. Like, it's going to really showcase. Alright, now, coming up next is, I don't have a good website for this, but it's 3D Realms. We got a little bit of street racing going on out there, so if you hear that, sorry. But once again, we're not cutting out the street racing or the sirens. So yeah, where's that? Oh yeah, so Rise of the Triad Remastered. Now, for those of you that are not old, you probably don't remember Rise of the Triad, but my freshman year of college, we played Rise of the Triad, and it was awesome because we would play on the floor in our dorm, and we were all open door policy. We were like super friendly, and but we would play, and you could hear people getting angry when they got killed, or they excited when they picked up a new drop, or the big thing was the God mode, and you were basically invincible for 30 seconds, and you shot out. I want to say it was one shot. I'm pretty sure it was one shot. It was a slow-moving, homing Godfire. It was like this white orb that just kind of went and followed, and you could hear people when they were targeted, and they knew it, and they're like, it's coming for me, it's coming for me. So that was those are great memories. So I can't wait to see it in like a 2021 version. So yeah, so here we go, another one. Oh, and then, so Rise of the Triad, that was for spring sometime, 2021. Don't know for sure. New World. Now, I don't have an official date. I think I did see a date of May, maybe. So, that's what I'm going to go with for this list. But this is Amazon's MMO. And I want to give it a shot, but I'm not really letting myself get that hyped for a new MMO, to be perfectly honest. Because, I mean, a lot of times MMOs fail nowadays. I don't know that people have the drive and attention and the the determination to go through MMOs if they have some depth to them. Now I can imagine like an MMO light, where they kind of hand everything to you. I can imagine something like that being a little bit more successful, and successful as in people play it, there's a cash shop, you get addicted to it. But I'm hoping that New World is a little bit deeper and is more of I don't want to say old school. Hopefully you know what I mean. Like an older MMO with a lot of depth and a lot of replay and a little bit of grind. Let's be honest, a little bit of grind. Next up, and we already talked about this on the channel, but Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so the remaster of the first 3 Mass Effect games, which I have not played. I know that's embarrassing to admit, but I haven't played them. But yeah, when these come out, I think, what is the date on this? I think it was June, approximately June. So when these come out, it's going to be like drop everything, play them probably on Xbox, unless there's some reason to play them on PC because of graphic setting or something like that. But I do have a good feeling, though. I have a good feeling that these are going to come out really strong on all platforms, but on PC specifically. So we'll see. All right, and then this is the kind of wild card in the bunch. I don't really know what to expect from Hogwarts Legacy. It's got a release date of sometime 2021, but an RPG set in, like Harry Potter verse. Yeah, I'm in. I mean, I'm sold immediately, but yeah, this will probably be an Xbox play for me, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's good. Now, I guess I could say if Hogwarts Legacy, what's up, neighbors, Harley? If Hogwarts Legacy is a wild card, I think maybe Ghostwire Tokyo is a little bit of a wild card for me also, but it's got a release date 2021 at some point, and it's a magic and melee adventure game. I don't know, sounds pretty sweet to me. But we'll see. And I don't really care. If this game never existed, I wouldn't lose any sleep, but since it does, I'll probably give it a shot. And let's see. All right, Ruined King. Now this is another 2021 at some point. So, Ruined King, a single player like RPG of set in the League of Legends universe. I'll give it a shot. It looks pretty cool. The trailer is awesome. Like, the trailer really pumps you up. Like I said, I'll have links on the website, so check it out. I highly recommend it. And actually, you know what? I missed one. Well, we'll talk about it anyways. Horizon Forbidden West. Duh. Everyone's looking for that one. Also, 2021, maybe. I have a really bad feeling it's going to get cyberpunked into 2022, but we'll see. But it's a PS5 exclusive, but they did bring out the last one on PC, so maybe sometime, I don't know, 6 months, a year later, it'll come out on PC, because to be perfectly honest, I need to play it on PC. I am just not good at aiming with the controller. I don't know. I'm old. You could argue I was never good at it, but I'm old now, and it's really hard for me to aim. So the PC mouse keyboard is much better. But yeah, can't wait for that. And yeah. So anyways, the point of this link here is I found this. There's a lot of websites that have lists of 2021 games, but I found this thegamer.com, and it's got the list the way that I want it. It's got it broken down by month. All consoles all merged together, so you can just kind of scroll through and check things out. There's a lot of games coming. Holy Toledo, there's a lot of games coming. But yeah. So anyways, I'll put a link to that on my site, so you can check that out too. But that's it. That's my list of games that I can't wait for. And I'm sure that this list is going to change Like, I don't know, I will almost guaranteed buy all of these games, and I'm sure that I will buy plenty more as they come out. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. These games suck. Are you ready for these? What games are you excited for? But I'll shut up now, and I will see you next time.